how did we meet? So you have to tell us. Yeah.
So I pinged him on LinkedIn after watching the Namaste from Norway videos, and
Cool.
then he contacted me, and he is an assistant professor at my
Associate Professor.
Sorry.
Oh my god. So Norway guys, my name is Arvind and welcome back to my channel. So guys, today's video is about student housing, and as I promised to you today, I will be showing you the student housing in Oslo, and we will be also talking to one of the students who is staying in these student housing, and together we will answer your questions. So please stay with us. So guys, I am outside the student housing of Oslo, and now we're going to meet one of the students who is studying at Oslo Met University, and together with her we're going to interview her, and we'll tell you that all of the questions which you had asked, you'll get answers of that. But let's see how her dormitory looks like. So come inside. So here you can see these are the letter boxes of the students, and you can also see these are rest of the dormitories. And guys, I would like to say that please connect with us on Instagram if you want your queries to be answered. I am also coming for the first time to the student apartments in Oslo. I mean, in Stavanger I had been living for almost 2 years, but let's see how are these apartments. So you can see, come inside. So each one of these is the housing. So please follow me. They're knocking. Let's see if she's up.
Hi.
Hello. Hi Abhishika, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good,
Hello,
good.
welcome.
Thank you.
So this
Wow,
is
it's so neat and clean. Did you clean it just now?
no.
Oh, you are so clean. Okay. So before we ask questions to Abhishika, let us see and let us ask her who she is. So Abhishika, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, I'm from India and I'm from Haryana. I worked with Infosys for 2 years before coming here, and I came to Norway in August 2019 to do my master's. I'm a master's student in Oslo Met, and I'm doing master's in applied computer and information technology. And it's been 1 year since I'm living here, and one more year to go.
Okay, so thank you for introducing. So that's good. So I mean, we just had a look at this beautiful apartment. So most of the questions which the people in the community asked us, so we will ask you, right?
Okay.
So first of all, how much do you pay? The first question is like, how much do you pay for this apartment? And can you also tell how much is its area and what all furnitures and etc. you have, or were they already in here? So please tell us about.
Yeah, so this is a 21-meter square apartment, and this is a fully furnished apartment. I have got all this bed, study table, almirah, and the whole kitchen range, refrigerator, oven, everything. And there's also a store which is provided to me along with this. So the rent for this apartment is 6,000 NOK per month,
Okay.
and I had to pay a deposit of 10,000.
Okay.
at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. So in this 6,000 NOK per month, what all facilities are provided to you?
So the electricity and the Wi-Fi is included into the rent.
Okay, so I mean that is a pretty good deal. Pretty impressed by the houses or the student apartments in Oslo in comparison to Stavanger. So Stavanger, cheer up. Now let us take these questions. So for all of the viewers, I have kind of all of the 42 or 45 comments which we got. We have kind of summed up into 5 or 6 questions, and we will try to answer these one by one. So there are few questions which Abhisheka will tell us, and there are few such as which are related to PhD and all other stuff that I will answer myself. Okay, so let us start with the first question, and the first question is that what is the procedure for getting a student housing, and do we have to apply for the student housing from India, or do we apply it when we are in Norway? And a question also relates to that, when do we apply for the student housing, before visa, after visa? So let us ask Abhisheka about it. What was her experience, right? So Abhisheka, please tell us that, consider a situation that you got your admission letter,
Yeah.
then what do you do?
So when I got my admission letter to Oslo Met, I applied. I started looking for student houses, and there's a website called SIO, which is responsible for all the student houses in Oslo. So I go through the website, and I visited the website, and I looked through apartments that were available for students, and therein you'll find all the details regarding how much area of the apartment, and then how much does it cost. So therein I visited there, and I searched all the houses, and I kind of liked this one, so I selected this. And yeah, there is an option you can select up to 6 houses, and yeah.
Okay.
So according to the priority, and SIO will most probably give you the house that is your top priority.
When did you do this? Before visa or after visa?
No, I did this before visa. As soon as I got my admit, I applied to the housing. It was around April or May.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you get the confirmation of housing right away, or did it take some time?
Yeah, for the SIO confirmation, it took some time, but my university, along with the admission letter, they provided me with a housing guarantee, which I submitted along with all my documents for the visa process.
Okay, so here I would like to tell all of you that this is a very important thing which Abhisheka has mentioned. So see, consider two things, right? First thing is that if you get an this guarantee letter from your university stating that you will be provided a student hostel or a student studio from the university, then that letter is sufficient. You don't need an actual rental agreement. So that is why try for the student housing, right? Don't try to go out for just to save some bucks. Don't try to get an apartment outside the student housing, right? Because there are a lot of steps. I'll explain that. So Abhisheka, this procedure, is it same for all of the universities in Norway?
No. Actually, it depends on area wise, because all the universities in Oslo, their department, they have this SIO. Then if you go to up north, the university in Tromsø, they have this SIT.
Yeah. And I think for me, when I was in Stavanger, it was called as SIS. So this SI, it actually stands for, if we translate it into English, Student Organization of. So if it is O, it stands for Oslo, T for Tromsø, as Abhisheka said, and S for Stavanger. So these are the major organizations which you should know about if you are planning to study in Norway. The next question which most of the students want to know, because as we know that in the Indian engineering colleges or the hostels, we have this warden, right, who is more like your dad or your mom, who is like, when are you coming in, when are you going out? So are there any sort of restrictions in the student housing in Oslo?
No, not at all. There is no restriction. You are completely independent on your own. There is no one to keep a check on you. So yeah.
Okay, so I mean that is both a good and a bad news. You can come in anytime, 4 in the morning, go out anytime. So this is the key you are given, and this is the key which actually you can use to come in or go out, right? So let's talk about the next question is about the facilities. What all facilities do you have in this student village?
Yeah, so there is a grocery shop right in front of the campus. Like it's inside the campus, therein you'll get all sorts of groceries, and then there are a lot of courts like football court. There is a volleyball court. Then there's a running track. There is a gym inside. Then there is a laundry area where you can do your laundry. Yeah, so these are all the facilities.
Okay, and any pubs or cafes to hang out?
Yeah, there's also one cafe inside, so you can always go there and hang out with your friends.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, where I was living in Stavanger, there was no such thing. Only laundry was there. So that's it. So the next question is about couple housing. Are you aware that are there any couple housings in this
Yeah.
place?
Yeah, yes, there are a lot of couple housing. There is 1 BHK apartments, there are 2 BHK apartments. All the details you will find on the SIO website, and there is also Barnahage, which is inside the campus, so that is very helpful with people who have kids.
Yeah, so Barnahage is actually a kindergarten. So it has to be your wife and your child, not your mom and dad. So please understand this, right? Because few people ask me that if I come as a student, can I invite my mom? So that is not possible when you are as a student. The next question is about the PhD students, because so one of the question was that to whom is the priority given? Is it the international master students or is it the PhDs for the housing?
So the priority is given to the international students who are coming here to do their masters, and I don't know about PhDs.
Yeah. So about PhDs, I'll tell you based on my experience in Stavanger. So as I've mentioned in my previous videos that when you come as a PhD, right, to pursue your PhD rather, you are not a student, you are an employee. And since you are an employee, you are getting a good amount of salary, right? Since you are getting good amount of salary, you can easily afford to live outside. So generally in Stavanger, PhDs were not given this housing, but yeah, there were few people who were living in a housing, but then the point is it was very small. It was, I think, the housing which was given to the PhD students, they had to pay around 8,000 NOK, and it was 40 meter square house. So there is one more question which is just posted like 15 hours ago, and the question is that whenever you are applying for an accommodation for students, you get a confirmation email that you are in a queue. Is this confirmation email sufficient to apply for visa? So what do you think?
No, that is not sufficient.
Yeah, because you, as Abhisheka mentioned, that you must have this a letter which states that you will be having a guaranteed accommodation. So this is not sufficient when you apply for a visa. So finally, Abhisheka, what is your recommendation for all the students who are watching this and who are planning to come here? Should they stay inside the student housings, or should they look in for some housings outside if they have been guaranteed the housing at the student?
Yeah, so I think that being in a student house gives you a nice experience. You'll meet a lot of new people who are also students, so you all can share your experiences and be friends with people of different countries. And yeah, I guess overall being in a student house is the best thing you can do when you study at an international university. Yeah.
Okay, and your experience has been very enriching, I hope.
Yeah, definitely. My experience is like wonderful here, and it's been since like 1 year I have been living here, so it was all beautiful and very nice.
Did you face
No.
any bad experiences, racism?
No, not at all. People here are very sweet.
Yeah. So this is a confirmation to what I always say, that racism is not very frequent here, right? I haven't faced it, and she is another evidence of that there is no racism especially as a student. There was a question in the comment section that one of the guys wanted to know that what is the price of a shared apartment in downtown Oslo. Of you who have not been given a guarantee from the university that you will be staying in a student housing, you can definitely look for the apartments for yourself. And the option is that you should go on this fin.no website. So you will find this fin.no in Norwegian. So my recommendation is try to open it in Google Chrome and then use the translate function of Google Chrome, right? So for Oslo, generally based on my experience, you can find a decent apartment, a shared apartment for about 6,000 to 7,000 NOK. But as I mentioned, that Wi-Fi and electricity you have to pay yourself. So this is the price range which you can find an apartment, right? But it will be a bit smaller, maybe 32 meter squares, and then you have to share it with someone. And finally, how did we meet? So you have to tell us. Yeah.
So I pinged him on LinkedIn after watching the Namaste from Norway videos, and then
Cool.
then he contacted me, and he is an assistant professor at my
Associate Professor.
Sorry.
Oh my God! It's insult. No. Go ahead. I'm just joking.
So yeah, he's an associate professor at my university. So I met him there, and yeah, that's how we met.
So that is it. So hopefully, I think we have covered most of the questions, and if we have not, then you just leave a comment and we'll try to answer that. But this is generally what the student housing is all about, and direct experience from a student who is living in the student housing apartments in Oslo. And finally, if you like the video, then Abhisheka will tell us what to do.
If you like our video, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family.
Yeah, so that's it for today. And finally, Namaste from
Norway.
Student Housing in Norway.